Kodwa angikwamukela ngiyathokoza ukuthi sinawe namhlanje la ku Sports Talk with Big Joe.
Ngithokoze i-invitation ngicabanga ukuthi sijabule kakhulu nathi kuqala.
Yeah, akulithawo ngibe ngikubize ukuthi ngiyakubona nje uyi-Deputy President ye SAFA. Into emnandi bethu kuyisifundeni seMpumalanga pasibuya khona. Manje kuningi nje umuntu angafuna ukwazi ngawe ngokuthi national nisaphi njenge SAFA. Kodwa ngaphambi kokuthi sifike lapha ke sibuyele emva. Wakwayidlala ibhola?
Yes.
Wadlala ku?
Well, I played at amateur level. Khona endaweni yaseDelmas. I played as a defender.
Yeah.
But as a player, you normally don't play one position. At some point, I will play as a striker, depending whether we have strikers on the day.
And no excellent,
Yes.
Of all trades.
Yeah. And when I'm called upon to be a goalkeeper, I used to, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yazi ngibuzwa yini? Ubanozo isikhathi esiningi abathandi bebhola nabakhuluma ngeSAFA nama changes abafuna ukuwabona the only see amngena abantu abakhe badlala ibhola lapho nabantu nje asibazi bayidlala kuphi ibhola. Manje nokho wena nabangathi bafuna abakhe badlala ibhola abazange bayidlala ibhola bayabakhipha ungasala.
No, mina ngingasala.
Nguwe nobani ningasala?
Singaba baningi. I think the issue lies that the picture. Well, people are expecting that you should have played at professional level and all of that. And I think that's the misconception of football.
Yeah.
So we played during our time where we were playing. Some bakhoni luya phezulu, some they could not.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you then do.
Yeah.
Because mina njengami we made trials for Witbank, Mpumalanga ACs, so with SSA Witbank ACs, Cosmos and all of these things.
Yes.
So when I realized that I'm not going to go anywhere here, so I decided no. Maybe the administrative part of football, I can go there. So we played, and today I was just telling coaches where I come from, Guti. Ordinarily, we look at role models because abavele TV.
Yeah.
Kanti where you stay in your own township, your own village. Sometimes you were a big star there. People, when they see you, they see a Messi of the village. So that's
when the Maguire of the village or
no.
So it's getting
And I think it's getting Fernandez. Yes.
Yeah.
Ferdinand, the defender.
Rio Ferdinand.
Rio, yes.
Okay. Yeah, no. Ngiyathokoza bese ngifuna uku-understand ukuthi ibhola okayidlala. Kodwa kunomuntu mina ngikwazi ubuya eDelmas.
Yes.
Ene usevile ku LFA eMpumalanga lela ubuya khona namhlanje sewula. Ke sithome nje ngekhambo lakho kusukela ekhaya la usuka khona. Umuntu weDelmas uze ngokwakha ubuya Samona.
Well, ifamily ibuye
Emelo.
Ngazalelwe Emelo.
Okay.
But ngisesemncane, I think I was 2. Then they moved to Delmas. So family family football because besine club ekhaya.
Okay.
So ekhaya so 5 abafana kuphela.
Oh.
And so 5 who were playing football.
5 you come professional.
Ukhona.
Oh.
Yes.
What?
Sandile Zwane. Use wadlula. He played for Aces.
Okay.
He went and played for Tembisa Classic.
Mdala ku.
Yes. Landela yena. Yes.
Okay, me so
yes.
Yeah.
So obviously we'll have different ways of doing things. We choose to be defenders, others are strikers and all of that. And of course, one will be a shining boy amongst the group of 5, which is Usandile. He's one of the guys, I think, who was making me to realize that there's something in football, because he kept on achieving a lot of things at the local level, at the regional level, and all of that. So we stayed in Delmas. We're having a club. There's a club called Butleng United Bits.
Okay.
But before that, we have the old clubs that were part of. There's Delmas Youngsters there. We had Winter Roses. We had Cosmos. All of these teams. At the earlier age, we were playing in those teams. But ultimately, we then ended up Zwane club ekhaya. Yeah, yabizwa Butleng United Bits.
Okay, we club ekhaya.
Yes, ekhaya. Yeah, you see, the issue is there was a guy but who shakes, the Simbiza Mopra shakes.
Yeah.
Why vusa le club, but bekungekho la angayibhayisa khona.
Oh.
So ekhaya bekuvulekile, then beza yababhayisi lapha yagcina ukuba ukuthi uyashona. Then we took over.
Yeah.
So it happened that the team did well. It was known at Delmas. It was one of the two great teams at the time. There was Butleng United Brothers. Then we Butleng United Bits. Well, there were other teams. But then, as we grow, then go on a rift amongst brothers.
Yes, all right, go on. Serious.
Then, no, decide. Saphuma saforma enye club.
Enye club nachiya ekhaya.
Sachiya yona.
Na ubaba khona nimchiya nayo.
Yes. Usandile continued.
Yena uxhubeka.
Yeah, nabanye, but Tina, then we moved and formed what is called Butleng Classic.
Okay.
Yeah, so we carried on. I ended up coaching that team. So the process the football was that I had to retire at some point. Not because I wanted to retire. I think I was 26.
Injured?
No. I had a responsibility to run the team.
Yeah.
I cannot coach and play. So the problem yabalap. And I'm one person that I know I can play. But sometimes it sounds funny that when you line up, your name is always there. So I then decided that no.
Yeah.
I think Manja have a responsibility. So I then took over the management and coaching. Yeah, I was Jomo, kind of. Yes. Then introduced into the life of the LFA.
Okay.
Delmas Football Local Football Association at the time.
Yeah.
Before Ishinja Iba Victor Kanyema.
Oh, okay.
So I was elected there.
Oh, but Keta.
Yes.
Yeah, ngoba bengiseza ngifuna ukuzwisisa ukuthi manje from ku-LFA ane Delmas namhlanje seku national as a deputy president. Istory esikhuthazabo ngoba abantu abaningi inkhundla ezinjengalezo cabanga abantu beCape Town, cabanga abantu beJozi, beLimpopo sike sababona eMpumalanga apha mani yangikhumbula kwaba ngufanyana Sibanyoni naye akhona umaneleza lapha but kwase kwaba yino enjaya. So namhlanje nasekuvela kuyakhombisa ukuthi no abadosi phambili nabaphathi bakhona kusho ukuthi abangasiphatha lephezulu ababuye ekhaya. Manje sengifuna nje ukwazi ukuthi ukusuka lapho ke ku-LFA eDelmas kube njani elevation yakho ikhambe njani ube ulokufika lapha?
I think I was elected as a deputy secretary. I was a secretary to a guy known as Nsizwa Maseko. So, during those days, you will have an NFA that is running a league. Then in between that, the league will stop. People buy gambling.
Oh, yeah.
So I think because of school, he went to Forte and all of that. I then took over as a secretary. We struggled, but we were lucky. I would say we were lucky as a town or as an area. Because in year 2000, because of the other political involvement, I was elected a council.
Oh, like, isho ukuthi iqiniso masokuthi politics kusafana nema-politicians ne ngisho ukuthi kuliqiniso ngoba nawe uyikhansela namhlanje u-deputy president ziyakhambisana.
Nah, I'm wrong. Because before I became a politician, I was a football player.
Yeah,
So we must not misunderstand that.
zange uthobe uyi-politician
Zange Tom and a politician. I was recruited into politics.
wangena now.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
So I was then elected as a councillor at the time, elected as a councillor at the Pan-Africanist Congress of Zwane.
yeah, PAC.
Yes. Which later I then joined the ruling party and all of that. But significant is that year, when I entered council, I think we must revive the local football association.
Bowuye lapha kuhle kuhle wena umuntu othi ngiyokulwela i-football le
Yes.
politicians ukuthi basichange.
Yes.
Yeah,
And the LFA started there
okay,
up until today.
isarana.
It's around. So we were able to mobilize people to understand why we must play organized football and what are the benefits. So I became a councillor. Yes, I'm a councillor. Normally it's about the water, lights, and all. But my concentration was more on sports.
Phones, yeah.
And I think it helped me because at least you have those resources and you started to have your mayoral games. Now the municipality was coming in on board because there's somebody inside.
Phakathi ukwazi ukukhulumela i-sports,
Yes.
i-community.
So I was supported by the various councillors. And you can imagine at the time, I'm sitting on the opposition bench, working with the ruling party. But fortunate enough, they were able to listen.
I-sport and it like is always said ukuthi sport siya-unite.
Yes.
Sport. So lapho nasezifika ku-sport nikhohlwa noma
Yes.
political affiliations wenu
Yes.
ikhosa iwani.
So-
Two weeks.
So we worked, and now there was this thing that it Delmas at the time they were under what is called Mpumalanga South, which is Secunda, now Gerseband. So we had to then make sure that this LFA affiliates to the region there.
Okay.
Then we started to make contacts. We did everything that we wanted. And in that year, at least we promoted the team to what is called now the Regional League. It's now Bollywood, the Regional League.
Okay.
At the time, it was SAP.
SAP.
Yes. A team called Amavarara.
Mavarado. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
they went and played there and all of that. But with the demarcation issue, we then moved to Nkangala.
Kangawanji.
Yes, so we went to Nkangala. And remember, football by its nature, most of the people who were petty ball abantu badala. So thina basha sesenale energy sihlala silo la,
Yeah.
because sifuna certain things to happen. And
Question
these
and
old
bona
guys, they would-
sebajwayele ukuthi izinto
Yes,
zenzeka so
yes. So
change.
ngale eMpumalanga South vele sambe kungasekho mnandi kahle because we were confronting the status quo. Then we went to Nkangala, which we were welcomed and received. And remember, the issue is that Delmas and former Wandevele areas and Witbank, historically, it's we have been closer this side than the other side. So we were welcomed, we worked. I was then elected in the RC there as a rep, Yase Victor.
Okay.
Then there were elections. Then it happened that during those elections, I remained a rep, Yase Victor Kanye. But then Oguno, the current mayor, Yase Delmas, Yase Victor Kanye Baput, was then elected as a deputy president of the region.
Epolwe.
Yes.
Okay, usually bolo in the politics in country.
So he was elected there. We supported, and then 2010, just before the World Cup,
Yeah.
then there were shake up in the region.
Yeah.
So then SAFA decided to put that region in under administration.
Okay.
Then they wanted people who can carry until the new committee is elected.
Yeah. Interim
So
committee.
I was the leader or the acting president of the interim.
Yeah.
People that were there felt Kuti, I am capable. I don't know what they saw. Then I took over for a period of 3 months.
For my president.
Yes. Then I think in the process it was around May, but in the process there was World Cup. Then after World Cup, September, we went for elections. Then I was elected there unopposed. So that is how then I became the regional president. Then we worked from there. But there are a lot of challenges with football because you find areas which Emalahleni, they might be enjoying support from the side of government, but you go to Tembisile, it's a different story. You go to Emakazeni, it's a different story, Dr. Moroka and all of that. So you have a problem that football is technically dying in those areas. I remember that there was a time where at Tembisile, Besekseli Club A1, Mratat, Ngithengisiwe. Yeah, zithengiswe with bank. Lapha eMalahleni, most of the teams bese. So if you look at that league, bese predominantly eMalahleni league and Steve Schwed. Then we took a decision. No. We have to fix this. Let's have streams. Okay. Then we increase the numbers.
Yeah.
That is why today you have all these streams. It's because of a conscious decision we took.
Yeah.
To say we cannot have Tembisile and Moroka not participating. Yes. And at the time there was one stream. If you have a team from Emalahleni, from Emakazeni, Bova, let's say Bova or Dalstrom, Melihambi yodlala eMametlhake. Sure. You can imagine the stretch. So it does not make any business sense. If you want to invest to sustain, then you know you are losing. Then we had to petition the region, firstly into 3, to say at least abase Victor Kanye abadlale nabaseThembisile neMoroka baseduzenyana. Laba bangale naba badlale bodwa bazahlangana phambili, yabona. So I think that was the drive to say Tina were people who comes from the clubs.
Yeah.
We are people who comes from the ground. We understand. But what does it take to run a club? So we had to come up with those measures.
Okay. Yeah, nasebenza ngoba solo kwami lezomkhathi namhlanje kuyabonakala ukuthi kuyadlalwa. Yabona ku APC Municipal King zikhona Tembisile ezidlalako lapho. So kusho ukuthi i-decision anayithatha lo iyasiza ngoba abantu sebakhona ukuhamba ama-distance nyana aseduze nyana abadlali. And then ke ukusuka lapho ufika kanjani ku-national?
2013 kunama elections we-SAFA. La Dr. Jordan waye contestant no Shoes Mazimpu.
Oh.
So now in Mpumalanga we have 3 regions. So ordinarily you had Maleleza, Spanish, and Ubono Brains Zulu from Ehlanzeni. So beguna lento ukuthi no we must rotate. If abanye ba sexa dependence should khona ohlala wina ngoba kushuto one you lose bese benefita. So this thing melize nkangala, but we could not agree. Same 2013, it happened that Ihlanzeni produced 2 yama provincial reps.
Yeah.
So ama provincial reps was nkangala ngaleso sikhathi bewawu 2. I mean wase Mpumalanga bewawu 2 abuya eHlanzeni oyi-2. So eGersibande ingaphandle, Nkangala ingaphandle. So we had to make it a point ukuthi there's an understanding in the province not to go against the elected leadership. We worked with them. 2018, when there are elections, now besis Zwane as a province. Ukuthi no, manje siyashare. Si Nkangala thatha 1, Gersi thatha 1, Hlanzeni sinikeza national list. That is how ubaba uGame Mkwena angena ngakhona. Ngangena ubaba uDitheko eGerdo wangena. So singena njalo. Mina no Mr Ditheko si representa I-province, ubaba uGame Mkwena o representa ungena as a nationalist or directly elected. So that is how I then get into yes,
SAFA.
yes. Then after that, there are elections. Adlula lama election 2018.
2018, yeah.
Yes. Then we had the recent elections 2022. No.
Abantu bacanvasa wena yaza ngikhumbule ucanvasa aggressively so, but all of a sudden nakuze ngofikile.
No. It's I think by your action people will know you, what you do.
Wena wakhusiyelwa umsebenzi wakho.
Yes.
Zakho khamba urasa.
No. It's not in my nature. And I think my leadership qualities or my principles of leadership is that you must not speak about yourself or for yourself. People must then identify you out of the challenges ababhekene now.
Yeah.
Bese bathi lo angasimela kahle kulenkinga.
Mara ke nakuza ama elections ngisiya canvas of amachela marriage nayo lithi yena ngafaka mina so nawo kwenzeka lokho.
No.
Ungene njani?
No. I-process ithi angithi njoba ngisho ukuthi siyasebenza. Namanje siyasebenza busy. Ngiyabizwa Eastern Cape, ngiyabizwa Limpopo and all of that. People they know. Kunolo muntu bathi ngo picture. Okay. Kufika isikhathi sama elections where ama regions they must start to nominate. They will remember you. You are their leader. They will nominate you. But in case ngo 2022, you must firstly be nominated by the region of Buyagi. Then laba abanye sebanga endorse mara I-criteria is that kulapha ekhaya.
Yeah.
Ngoba kunabantu abama high flyer that they will want to be up there without recognizing where they come from. So lama elections bewa easy ngale yondlela leyo ukuthi it means abantu ekumele ngiba satisfy yilapha basekhaya. So that's how then I got elected ngo 2022. And what is important is that nakhona as regions in the province we sit down and say first nihlala as a region and say kulama position akhona ni interested kuyiphi.
Yeah.
Nase niyohlangana nalawa ama region seniyasho no thina siyinkangala si interested la laba bathi si interested la and thina si 3 kulula. Then the province said no, we are comfortable with you ungene ku national list ku directly elected. I'm not representing the province.
Yeah.
So then the 2 regions Ihlanzeni and Gerdo bangena nabo. Ubab Kaiser Sibanyoni no Mr Ditheko bangena mina ngena as a directly elected. Yes. So then what happens is that nasifika ku Congress, because impumalanga seyivumelene ngegama lami ukuthi ngingene lapha and sine slot as a province.
Yeah.
Automatically sengingenile because la ngibuya khona bayangi-support. Same applies to the two provincial reps. Yes. So Mpumalanga siye kule Congress si clear. Bewaziwa ukuthi naba abantu bethu. So akunamba. After so i-constitution ye-SAFA ithi after sekhethiwa i-National Executive Committee, then in the next first National Executive Committee, vice presidents will be elected.
Akhethwa babantu abawurakhethwa ngupresident.
Akhethwa i-NEC. Yes. Because I know people will be saying, uyazikhethela abantu bakhe. No.
Yeah.
It's the NEC.
Abantu ukuthi uDedicate Dan ukhetha abantu abangamphikisi wena nabo ukhetha abangani bakhe wakubona ngathi uzokuba inkinga fela ukuvanela ngaphandle. Maye nawe njengokulapha khona i-perception ethi no kusho ukuthi uyabasa.
No, if it's just unfortunate that people will not come to our meetings. Because I think we're disciplined enough that if we disagree, sizoya ngaphandle so rasa. No. If we disagree in house. But naspuma, we have a united front. And look, NEC SAFA, it's a very complex kind of an NEC. You have lawyers, advocates there, people who of substance, people who are highly qualified. And sometimes it is insulting to say you are a yabas kind of a person. But the process is that Nasfia go the first NEC, all these people abago national list. They are part of the ballot. So it means 13 yabantu bayangena lapha. I-NEC decide iyavota. Yasho ukuthi thina ama-deputies now sifuna lapha. So kuyavela lapho ukuthi okay, uTsima una 20, Zwane una 2, Loyi una 13. Therefore uTsima nguye ongenayo long. So he process eyenzekile.
So ngene ukuthi democratic.
No, yes.
But now lapha njengoba nangabuza nje ukuthi ngokubona kwakho from this national position oyiphethe i-football eSouth Africa injani? Is it well run? Nje wena na uhlezi kulele kushuku yacho no South Africa ngehlangothini lebhola siyiSAFA siyisebenzela.
It is well run. And of course there will always be room for improvement. And I'm saying this because there's nothing that is called perfect. Any organization that
flaws.
There will be.
When we acknowledge khona nawubona khona ukuthi nasina improve nasina.
Yes.
I can go ngawo before ngawandlala mhlambe nawubona khona ukuthi as leadership your nation kuphi la ubona khona ukuthi mani lani ngoba nasingalungisa izinto zingalunga.
Firstly, I think it's around the area of school football.
Yeah, Bengisas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's around the issue of amasa more resources for NFAs and regions, because I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done there. Because, for instance, ngibekisile ngale issue yokutraveler from Belfast to Mametlake. Ukuthi if such a region is so huge, it means some regions nama LFA they will need resources there. We acknowledge that something needs to be done, and they affect us, of course. Why singakhona ukufika lapho? Because we are reliant on sponsorship. We don't get the funding from government.
So now that you are reliant on sponsors,
yes,
we are sure ukuthi imali asikho kuhle, ama-sponsor awekho enough ukuthi nikwazi ukwangana wonke ama-programs la. So kunenkulumo ethi i-SAFA ayinamali. Incwadi zenu zijame njani? Zi-right, financially ni-stable, financially njani, inkolodo zinjani and everything? Ni-right?
Financial was stable. And every year we produce the audited financial statements. And most of our commitments, we meet them. Yes, our commitment. That is why if you look at our financial statements, you will see we're a going concern kind of an organization. Yeah. And people will say, is SAFA against what? Because no. It's a different entity. Yeah. If we are compared, if we are compared to a commercial vehicle, yes. So the other issue is that, have you ever heard Uguti SAFA could not take a particular national team to a tournament by side issue? No. We always take our teams there. Negotiations. You understand? But we have never said to South Africa's national team somewhere.
So indaba ye-School of Excellence, yeah. Transnet School of Excellence, nayo indaba inkulumo zithi ngathi izokuvala. Transnet iphile ayisakwazi ukuqhubeka. And now they call School of Excellence i-development lapha abadlali abakhiphile baningi besicala ukuthi isebenza kuhle. Kwenzekani ngalelo hlangothi?
Yeah, unfortunately that's the case. It's a well documented issue. But remember, we're trying to close the gaps. Provincial government of Gauteng wants to come in and try and assist there, because literally, if there's no backing financial, any project will collapse. So we have introduced what we call our own academy at SAFA.
Okay.
This under 15, it started with the under 15 thing. We're finalizing the processes that from this year, we're going to have boys who are staying at the National Training Center, where they are going to be under one roof. They will go to school, go there and train. So it's part of the process to say, beside the other academies that are there, including School of Excellence, because in School of Excellence there was an element here, Transnet and all of that. Now we're saying we need to have this program, the academy program, within SAFA now.
Yes, SAFA.
Yes. Yeah. We have the academy program, tax, Yamantombazan. Yeah. Now we're bringing in this one. So the technical director and his team are working towards finalizing that. Already there's work being done. So soon you can even visit there, you'll find the boys there, Batlaragon. Yes. Of course, we don't have a school on site, but they will be transported to school and come back. But train facilities are there. So that is the remedy we have. Yes. So, and we are crossing our fingers that the Gauteng government will. Yeah. So the next step that we are doing, particularly in Mpumalanga, I went and met MEC with Education, and I said to him, there's what you called boarding schools in the province. How about we try and say, here is a boarding school. We identify players, good players around the province. We then take them there.
By boarding school.
Yes. These are our kids as a province. These are your kids. The only difference with these kids is that they are talented. They play football. So if we take them to a particular boarding school, government is not losing anything. It's there. These kids were supposed to go to their school. These kids were supposed to be taught by the same government. What we then do in SAFA is to then deploy proper coaches there. That program is at advanced level. So soon, once everything is finalized, because even our technical director is involved in that group, we will then be able to announce. But this is what we want to replicate all over the country. That yes.
But they buy to
right. The MEC is buying to it. He's happy. There's gonna be even a launch for the Sports Wednesday, because as SAFA we said to him, what is wrong with the province? We can't be known for other things. We have talent here, and let's try. And the MEC was saying, even myself, I know that every Wednesday there was football or sports played.
useselapho ngithela ngikhuluma ngezinto ezinga-improve awangitshela school sport uyabona ukuthi ngathi lapho kukhona improve khona. What went wrong in the school sports? Ngoba nasikhulako sifunda thina besazi ukuthi school sports kubhizi into ibhizi, and great players baphuma kulawo ma-programs of school sports nje sifile sports. What went wrong and yini eniyenzabo ukulungisa the situation?
There was a school sports in Daba, called by the minister just recently. Kule school sports in Daba, it was clear that there's a contestation between departments. Now ngikhuluma nge-government yodwa, ngikhuluma ngathi ama-federation. Department of Education says schools are a center of learning. Department of Sports ifuna labantwana badlala. Who controls who? So these kids are found in the middle. So first thing, I think the minister acknowledged that, and then they said there is a team that was formed in Indaba to deal with that, and ultimately there will be what you call one body that will be dealing with school football, school sport in the country, where you have all the segments, whether it's rugby and all of that. So the problem is that we have moved away from that practice simply because there's no synergy within government. Yes. Tina as SAFA, if we come in, then we find ourselves somewhere there.
So should mean if I'm a department that angazwana, I'm going to help them implement.
Yes.
But
yes. So njengendawo efana neDelmas la ngibuya khona, most of the teachers they stay in Springs, Davidton, so they stay outside. As it is 3 o'clock, matex bakhwela or ama-transport wapho bayahamba. So it means these kids, they are going to be left alone.
No, but kade mwaziwe ukuthi kunelanga ne-sports, ngelanga ne-sports from ngo-1 betshayiswa ngezihambe nama-teacher ba from sathina wona hlangasana bokhamba. But now ku-curriculum le-Department of Education bebakhona ukwenza isikhathi wa-accommodate i-sports bese kuyatshayiswa ngesikhathi sokutshayisa kanje. Ngikho lokho-ke mhlawumbe ngibamraro ukuthi be-department bakuthina siyafunisa sinasikhathi sokudlala.
Yes.
Ne-education.
No, that's the problem. But you must look at the former white schools. My former white schools, they play. Rugby is played, athletics, all of those, cricket and all of that. It's a question we're asking ourselves. What are we? But we're under the same government. We are governed by the same department, but things are not. So the problem is that once there's a will from the side of government, some of these things, as Kulumangas, will be, then you can then be blamed as SAFA and say, yeah, SAFA bekumele nifake some technical work and and all of that. So it's clear. That is why when you called last time about the issue, the reforms on technical, we're clear that at school, the coach must have this particular license, because we understand with labantwana la ukuze bakhule kahle, this is what needs to be done. And the question is, ibhola liyafa eSouth Africa. Mara issue is that asifuni ukusho kahle ukuthi inkinga yini.
Yeah.
Yebo, ngoba sithethe umuntu ongasiwu doctor samfaka ukuthi ahamba yo operate. Yeah, umuntu then bese isikulwane siyafa bese we ask ourselves.
So kusho ngamanye amagama niyasolwa sometimes but abantu abazi ukuthi uhlobo semanje.
Yes.
You don't come out nanikhulu. So ngithulile lokho nikhonjwa ngemini school sports isifile development ifile nibambekile.
No. Tina, we can raise whatever we raise. We know public perception is public perception. But abantu balazi iqiniso. Because most of our people, they are involved in SGPs. And our own parents sometimes, even ourselves, because manje my parents yithi esingekho pro sports in the schools. Labazali abama SGP now are young people, baku generation yethu. But where they are, is schools sports in that school is not even given a budget to travel from one school to the other. Good labafana bayodlala lapha babuye. You understand? So our problems are beyond SAFA or any federation. Ingakhulumela SAFA kuphela per se.
So ake size lapha nationally SAFA okay mafana asilise ama problems wabo reef ngaphethe SAFA.
Yes.
South Africa kune problem yabo referee each and every weekend naphela ingalo abo referee bethu incompetent ngenye indlela ama mistakes abawenza amanye ayathusa no.
Yes.
Ungazi ukuthi wabiza ngama mistakes ukuthi beza ngabo. So lapho ningi mara board kungine niphethe abo referee abasebenzela professional football eSouth Africa. Nibonani nithini ndilungisa njani lapha engakalungi.
I think we acknowledge that, but very important is that we need to train them more. But in the era of technology of VAR,
Ayikafiki.
we are working towards that.
How far?
We sent everything to FIFA. They approved our plans. Now, what is left is the details, particularly budgeting, and we need to start training our own referees. Currently, we have 3 referees who are trained as yes. So we have to train.
We have to
yes. Remember, it's budgets. Once we were certain about budgets, we need to send them to FIFA. Then FIFA says, then you can start.
Ngisafuna ukubuza nabo ngoba nawuzwa imali yokuinstalla isystem ye-VAR iba yiningi. Imali engangaleyo ninayo or nani nisatry ukuthola ama-sponsors bazonisiza mhlawumbe.
We have to get partners. And you know, the other problem in South African football is that football stadiums are not owned by football.
Yeah.
You see, we share with rugby.
And ngisho ama-stadium sethu ngakomasipala ngwani.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the system of VAR, it's something that you need to install. That's another challenge.
And when we install entweni engasingiya.
Exactly. So it's all of those things.
Nasa utsho njalo ke via kungilethela into ethi izokwenzeka.
No,
Kuba ngathi ayizokwenza.
no, I was going
Yeah, leso lokusikhuluma ngathi.
You see, there are options. It's either you install or you bring the mobile ones, which it's money, of course. So that debate is still ensuing. You remember, the great beneficiaries of this VAR, it's going to be the PSL. So we have to engage the league and see how best can we. Because by phone, you remember, there was one cup final they wanted to try it. Mara by phone, we said no. Let's do what is right. You understand? Because a shortcut will not help us. Yesterday, we were watching one game. What's this? Burnley.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. You saw that equalizing goal. So still, you are not going to be immune from mistakes. Yes. Yeah. What? So the only thing that we have to understand is that that's the nature of the game. Sometimes we see this, we don't see that. But we have to make sure that the level of officiating it's top.
But currently, siyavumelana ukuthi abo-refa low power abanye bakhona. Amanye ama-mistakes nami ngingasi-professional referee angeke ngawenza.
Well, it's a subjective matter. All I'm saying is that any person can make mistakes. And these referees, we take them through workshops before the season, during the season, and all of that.
And vanenge is what when a review committee.
Yes.
Some mistakes, suspend.
By suspend and all of that. So you can see that there are remedies. But
Our savings. That's our savings. It's either whatever or punitive measures and not at up. Our swing was somewhat deterred.
yeah, I think we have to. But my take is that we're doing within what we could do. Because if referees, for instance, if you can say, I'm taking them off the panel. Exactly. I understand. But so what you need to do is that to conscientize them, train them more, and ultimately things gonna change. There was a time where referees was at this level, but there was a time even before that the issues of officiating. So it always happens.
Hey, this isn't the worst. Nami ngakhe ngibuze vane kukhulunywe ngento yokuba benza professional abo-referee because abanye amaphoyisa abanye ama-taxi driver i-camp ba-account that ikhulunywe into leyo naye ubona ngathi imali yokuthi kwenzeke nokho ayikabe ukuba khona. Okunye engingakubuza ukuthi bahola enough abo-referee bethu ukuthi basebenzele umsebenzi o-satisfiable, babhadelwa enough?
There's never enough money from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, but living wage noba nje na okay ngitshela ukuthi bahola mali ngizokutshela ukuthi enough or not. Tshela mina ukuthi
No. I don't have those figures. I might be committing a very serious mistake.
Yeah.
But intekona ukuthi yes, we have part-time referees. I will call them like that. But at the very same time, it's all about integrity. It's all about integrity. Every referee is like a policeman who must always be upright. But we know even police have mistakes. We were reported every day that there are this and that in police. So all we need to do is that we need to assist them. If we need to bring more training to them and making sure that they are right. But at the very same time, I'm encouraging people on the ground. There are good guys who are referee, lay pants. We must make sure that those referees, they are brought up. And the only way to bring them up is to channel them through the LFAs, the region, and all of that. Mange, most of the good referees I know, laba pants, abafuni kuya fitness test.
Ngiyakubona bonke lokho but enye engiyisho ibuyela la emalini. And now ungaya nephasi seninwesi bayathenga abarefa. Ngiyazi ukuthi ngekho kuvume kodwa nokwala ngekho kwane lokho. Abo-referee bayathengwa ubuya khona bophethe club boyi-coach uyazazi ngezinto. And konke lokho kunga-avoideka if mhlambe sithi bahola imali ebenza bakwazi ukuresista these temptations. So le phasi kuwes.
Yeah, we must also draw comparison. We were talking about the game, the APL yesterday. And we were told that APL referees are full-time. They are professionals. But they made a mistake with the assistance of VAR.
Told me, ukhuluma nge-Premier League, told me even this season, Arsenal told this inkinga ezinjalo. Manje kodwana imraro khona nge-weekend sizokhuluma A1 2. Ekhaya nge-weekend singakhuluma ngama-game ayi-5 wama-decisions akamember. Angifuni siye lapho lokho kukhona ayize i-VAR silile ikhona njalo sibone. But now ngikhuthaza into yokuthi nababhadelwa kuhle they'll be immune to bribe to a certain extent. Ekhaya lekubudisi kakhulu nabo rev labo ukuthi basuke bakhuphuke lekhaya kubudisi ukuthi bakhuphuke because kunama challenges amaningi bayaya bakhuluma ngabo 250 or 500 rand ekumele babashare nabo refa amagame. It's difficult.
I agree, but the issue yokukhuphula abo-referee is very simple. You must be super fit as a referee.
Fitness
That's the thing. You must be super fit. You must then go to the class. You understand? And I mean, I'm making the very same comparison as a player. If a player is super fit, can do anything, a grounding. But if you are fit to Zobona, you understand? And this game of football, unfortunately, the focus becomes the referee, particularly when teams are losing. But we don't focus on the players when they commit mistakes and a team are lose.
No, comparing isn't funny. Player analyze mistake, team lose. I'm a fence, I'm a WhatsApp, and I'm a dilemma.
Yes.
Referee.
We are dealing with them.
Mara nani dila naye nina umunye umuntu sewuluza umsebenzi coach club iluza ama-point njalo ama repercussions nje mahambe khulu wama mistakes wabo ref teams get relegated and everything. So asivumelani nje ukuthi yes akudani.
No, but referee we must do better. I agree, and the only way is to give them necessary support, train them, and if the issues of compensation is the issue, and see how best can we do that. But generally, all I'm saying is that our referees are receiving the necessary support they want, and maybe for future we should be able to look at professionalizing. I am not against that.
Yeah, bahole kuhle ba professional kube ne-VAR mhlambe kuzakubangela ne-generation yabo reviva mhlambe izakubangcono kunala. Yeah, when in business. Sisters you song us now. Ngifuna nje uku-understand into one. I-term ye-office.
Yes.
Ku-SAFA ithi bamba amathema ayingaki i-term ye-1 ina neminyaka emingaki?
4 years.
4 years, and then now uphetheko lapha uvumeleke ukuthi uthathe amathema ayingaki?
As long as membership says
wanayo into yokuthi umuntu cannot run for more than 2 terms or 3 terms.
No.
Ungabuyela uphathe 30 years solange abantu bakufaka.
Yes.
So kune-perception ekhona oyaziwo ungaphakathi abumari uyazi ukuthi abantu abaningi kunenkulumo eteyibhola ethayinarana kuhle ama-president ngathi uphethe ngesandla sesimbi and all that. Kuyi-perception kunjalo, but kube nabantu ababuya bayifanazela. Abantu abaphuma ku-SAFA ungabezwa bakhuluma bakuyabezwa ngakubalela nje abaphumuleka u-CEO baphumile nje from le kubo-Dennis Mambo nje boMutlante yini abo Mambrial Dwaba babuya lapha bonke nabakhulumako bakhuluma ukuthi ngaphakathi apha kubole kanganga.
Okay. I agree with you, bayakhuluma, but the question is, at some point they were the ones who were praising.
Nabasesengaphakathi.
Yes.
Sebaphumile ba.
So it's always cold outside. So all I'm saying is, if you are a leader, a principal leader, you will make your noise inside, and if you are defeated, you must accept. And if my elections come and go, and you are not part of the leadership, accept. Abantu badecidile ukuthi manje iservice yakho basesengakayifuni.
So it's just sacreps nabantu lama baphumile nje ngoba it's cold outside sebayarasa nje mavezi ukuthi ngaphakathi apha kunje kunomuntu odecide yonke into osiphethe ngesandla sesimbi abantu bayakhetha ukuthi wena uyokuphatha la wena uyokuphatha la. Ayikho into.
I don't agree with them, honestly, because people bayakhethwa bangene basebenze. Now NEC is meant to take decisions. There's no way that one person, the president, can then say, "Loga kwenzeki lo yenze." There are a lot of. It's just that you cannot say, but there are a lot of things that the president will suggest this, then will tell him, no, thina sicabanga ukuthi kwenzeke so. Yes.
So i-policy yenu nokukhetha
Yeah.
like nakuzamakhetho uyibona injani ivalekile or ivulekile ngoba kulalelo esihlala sizwa umuntu nakakhuluma ukuthiwe khamba ukuseva lenzasi then ungakasave indawo angekho wakwazi ukungena niyibona injani ele kumele kube njalo umuntu akayokusebenza lenzasi kuma NFA aziziwe ukuthi ungaphakathi bestructure nasavele ngaphandle azokuphatha
picture football is not about elite. Football is about development. And yes, if ngolisa izandla zakho usebenza lapha phansi uzoba ne benefit of what is happening nase ule phezulu awuyokhohlwa niyayazi ke inkinga se South Africa nakuthiwa cancel abantu bani samkhetha lokho samgcina nakakhetha but if you are from the structures you'll understand. Yes, and when there are congresses you'll be reminded ukuthi sinifakele la 1 2 3 because the membership leyezayo la. So any person who want to participate in football he must go where it matters most. Late in esikhuluma ngayo development iphansi ayikho phezulu.
Yeah, ngiyakuzwa mina ngi-one ngiyaku-understand na ukhuluma into enjalo and then nje kuza indaba yama coaching qualifications into ukuthi umuntu uzokuthatha umzali wakhe asathi khamba ukucoacha professional niyayiqeda South Africa so into le njengoba niyisafa kungine niyichoko ukuthi iyokuthoma nini ukusebenza sazi ke ukuthi nina nichasha ama national team coaches ku DStv Premiership ku PSN abantu abachasha kuma team owners.
Yes.
And ayaziqashe so far abakhulumisa. So ngicabanga ukuthi into eneyilunge kumele kube nawo they are buying into umnene. So kufikela nje nikhuluma kanjani ne-PSL iyavuma nayo ukuthi no nje umuntu esimbeke ebhankeni uzabanawo lawo qualifications.
I think ngengayibeka before it's not the issue yokuzwana. You see nakubeka umthetho eSouth Africa ubekwa igovernment.
Yeah.
Akusindawo ukuthi mina ngifila njani. Umthetho we country. So in this case we are the custodian of football.
No behim.
Subekile umthetho. Yes. So if unama reservation because kunama challenges enzakalayo then you can then engage the association and say umthetho shall respect amara la kunaloko. The association will always engage. So what is happening is that we're laying the base that SAFA has a responsibility to license, what you call club licensing. Yes. So there's nobody who's going to do that work except SAFA. That is why when we were going to CAF competition, they were clear. You don't have this, you don't sit on the bench. But when we do the same thing, then kuba ne criticism or because sifuna ukwenza izinto. And remember, njoba ngishilo ukuthi if we are talking about players that are playing in those leagues, they end up being Bafana players. So what we have on the ground must be suitable for the Bafana team. You understand? So clear they can hire whoever they hire, but they must know there are prescripts.
Yeah.
In South Africa, for you to go and work, to come and work from outside, you need a work permit. And you ends on one. Simple.
So nanama coach na kuya maphansi kuzazo coach akumele kube
they must meet those requirements. And of course, you see, if you import a skill from outside, it's because like I understand. Ngonile one of the team he appointed new coaches, but you can see they are moving towards. I'm not sure with ball last time and I'm funu kulumales. Marinting is sure with the people that they have appointed. One of them have CAF Pro license.
Yeah.
The assistant has just concluded the A license. So it tells you good they are moving towards that, and that's what we want.
Let's hope kuba smooth transition bazokuzwisisa abantu bayenze nayo ndlela. Sesizokuthetha nangabuza nje how's the relationship between SAFA and PSL?
No, it's good. Of course, between organizations there will be those issues because remember, if you ubega PSL does not lento besikhuluma ngayo abo referee. They don't control abo referee. Abo referee they are provided by ourselves. So there's no game that has played where we said Tinas withdraw. Yes. And there are a number of other programs we are doing with the PSL. So, yes. So, until such time, we'll be told today not a problem. But currently, it's fine, and there will always be perception of hey, PSL and SAFA and all of that. But all we are saying is that there's only one mother board. SAFA.
Manje ke bokugcina before iBafana iya ku AFCON Cote d'Ivoire, national team coach beyiwilamba ukuthi beyifisa ukuthi ama-games agcine before Christmas, and ama-letter abhaliwe athunyelwa ku-PSL, but PSL yaraga yona-ke bawadlala ama-games wabo until the 31 zaka-December.
Yes.
Lokho kukodwa ukuthi ngoba i-coach before ikamba ikhulumile yathi if uzomtshela ukuthi PSL isupporta iBafana, then you'll be lying to yourself. It's a joke. Ayikho into. So khona indwanyana ezinjengalezi ngizitshela ukuthi man kukhona.
Yeah, you see, picture. It is unfortunate that we wrote any and we requested. Unfortunately, the request was not adhered to or acceded to. But remember, it's one incident. You see, all we are saying is that then it means we need to re-engage so that we are able to deal with these things, because emehlweni public ayihlali. They understand. But you must be mature enough as people, particularly as leaders. Singathi ngoba kuso then nathi we throw tantrums. No. Remember, these teams, these players, we need them beyond the AFCON. That's what needs to trick our mind. That we need to then fix those things. Kuma boardroom behind the scene through our own channels, then we take it from there.
Going forward, isn't it?
Yes.
Babuzwana ngithokozela ukuba nawe. Ngaphambi kokuthi ukhambe ngikhala nje ukwazi ama-programs enawo ukuthuthukisa ibhola ekhaya, mhlawumbe singabuyana nje emuva la ubuya khona kwenkangala region, bese mhlawumbe ngafeature usitshela ukuthi national enizoyenza noma ama-programs unangawalindela ukuthuthukisa ibhola ekhaya.
Okay, as we speak, we are running a C license, Malahleni. I started there before I came here. Then in that C license, because of our call, the earlier call of making sure that coaches are qualified, we have a number of people there. Yes, from outside the region. But prominent one who's there is Tumisango.
Yeah.
He's doing his C license there. And number 12 Masuta is there.
Yeah.
So it's...
And yabona nje ukuthi besihlathini ama-coach akacoacha ku-PSN le namhlanje khona bokufuna ama-license.
Yes.
Bacoacha kangana.
Exactly. So I think we were moving towards the right direction. Then we have what we called in the region ETC, Emerging Talent Center.
Yeah.
Was sponsored by a particular private company, which I'm not going to say here. But that program, we are moving to all LFAs, identifying the under 15, under 17, under 19 players. Then we put them in that center. Coaches go there and train them. We will always call national office to send scouts and all of that. So that program, today, Beba Megisama Play School of Excellence. Njoba says Begnama Trials. Yes, it's a program that is run within the region. All corners of Nkangala regions are covered in that program. Then we have what we call under 15 girls inter LFA league, where we have selected squads in the various LFAs that are playing amongst the 6 LFAs that are in Kangal. The reason for that is that at the lowest level, it's very rare to get you under 15 girls. So we're trying to ignite that thing there so that we don't have a problem when we have to select players for the... Yes. So in that program, about Coach Shoti, HPC, they come to those programs. So amongst the regions. Nkangala is amongst the 4 or 5 regions in the country. I know it's over Waterberg, Limpopo. It's Nkangala. It's Machuba in KZN. Yeah, it's Thabo Mfutsanyana. No, they are for 4. Yes. Yes, and it's a FIFA program. We have been identified as a pilot project. So that those programs that were running, and it augurs well for the development of the region, because in the SAP realize that if we have our players at the base, then we are able to then see how then do we mainstream them up. So those are the programs, and there are other coaches licenses that we are going to, your D license and all of that, in the various LFAs that we are going to be running. So yeah,
abantu abafuna ukwazi mhlambe no participate kulama programs should kumele baye kuma LFAs kune lwazi lo.
Yes,
then umuntu uzokusiza.
Yes, kuwo wonke ama LFAs, then they will be assisted, because into sifuna is that those who want to be part, they must via through structures. So tomorrow, ngiyahamba ngotrain as a coach ngoba ngibizole indwazana ko region. And then I come back and undermine my LFA at MBC or Dr. Mroka. It can't. Yeah. You must understand that for me to be who I am, ngikuchulwe laba basekhaya. Yes.
Lozana bekumnandi kuhlangana.
Sithokoze.
Ngithokoze kakhulu ukuhlala nawe lakena phambili.
Siyabonga.
Khuluma.
Okay.
So.
Sithokoze.